What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Paddock, and today we are going to talk about saxophone gear, more specifically my saxophone, the Mauriat 67RX Influence. On social media, I'm asked on a regular basis what kind of saxophone I play and what saxophones I recommend. So I thought today would be a great day to do a detailed video on my Mauriat 67RX, why I love it, and what makes it stand out from other saxophones on the market. So why do I love this saxophone? The answer is really simple. I love the tone. It's got the fattest and warmest tone of any saxophone I've ever played, and I have played hundreds and hundreds of saxophones. On top of the great tone, it's absolutely effortless to play, and it's super consistent from low B flat up into the stratosphere of altissimo. That might sound really familiar. That is my little logo for YouTube, and that is B flat to C on 4 octaves. And it is really easy to play on the saxophone because every octave speaks super easily and is really effortless to play. Another thing I noticed when I first picked this saxophone up is how crisp the articulations are. I play a lot of funky, syncopated, hard, articulated lines, and with this saxophone, it just gives me this edge that I'd never had on any other saxophone I've played. And the final thing that made me choose this horn over every other horn on the market was its ability to cross over genres. I play in all kinds of different musical situations. I love playing in funk bands, R&B bands. I play straight ahead jazz. I play cocktail music jazz. I play sax and DJ. I do a little bit of everything. So I needed a horn that was able to do everything. So whether I'm playing a jazz tune, or I'm playing a funk tune, or I want to be sexy and soft with my low subtones, or even Latin. This horn has every genre covered. Okay, so that's what I love about the saxophone, but let's talk about some of the tricks and engineering techniques that they used to make this saxophone sound and play differently than other saxophones on the market. The first thing that you'll notice is the big bell. A lot of the modern saxophones have big bells, but this one, it just looks, plays, and responds great. Here's a closer picture of the big bell. After playing a saxophone with a big bell, I don't think I could ever go back to a regular sized bell on a saxophone. The warmth, the thickness of the sound, the projection that these bells create just are unparalleled when it comes to the regular size saxophone bell. Another thing that makes the Mauriat 67RX Influence stand out are the rolled tone holes. The R in RX67 actually stands for rolled tone holes. Rolled tone holes are drawn from the body of the saxophone, so they're not soldered on. They're always a piece of the brass. So let me show you what it looks like closer up. As you can see, the tone holes are rolled up from the body, and they're rolled at the top. What that does is gives the pad more surface area to seat to. And the biggest difference between the Mauriat 67RX Influence and any other saxophone that you'll ever play are the key touches. These key touches are soldered on nickel silver, kind of like what you would find on a flute. Here's a closer look. By soldering the key touch directly onto the saxophone, what that does is it gives you more vibration because it's an actual piece of the saxophone, whereas when you have other key touches, they're held in place on the key by glue. So when you eliminate all that glue, times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you just get more vibration. And as you know with the saxophone, the more it vibrates, the bigger and warmer your sound is going to be. The 67RX also comes with the Mauriat Super 6 neck, which is tapered, which makes it easier for freer blowing. Here's a close-up of the neck. And the final thing to discuss is probably what people notice the most when I'm out playing gigs. Everyone always comes up and asks about the look of my saxophone. They can't figure out if it's an old saxophone or why it just looks different than any other saxophone they've ever seen. And that's because it has a flat, vintage looking finish. It's called the dark finish. The 67RX comes in a couple different ones. I know it comes in unlacquered, a cognac lacquer, but I played all three of them, and for me, this one responded the best and played the best. And I absolutely love the way it looks, which I've never bought a saxophone for the way it looks before. I just lucked out that the best saxophone I've ever played also is the best looking saxophone I've ever seen. And the last thing to mention is that these horns are handmade and hand engraved in Taiwan. So those are all the reasons that I play the P Mauriat 67RX Influence. If you're in the market for a new saxophone, I highly suggest you take one of these on a test run. You're absolutely gonna love it.